There's so much grey to every story. There's nothing completely white or black. Thank you, TMOD. Good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
In the city of Muzaffarpur, there lived a highly educated but poor man named Saroj. He had a wise and beautiful wife named Anjali. Both of them were unemployed. They struggled to make their ends meet. Their financial worries escalated when the wife conceived a child. And then they were worried. Anjali would often feel grief. Tears would roll down her cheek when she would realize that she cannot purchase new toys for her newborn baby. And Saroj, he would calmly kiss her forehead and say, "It's okay, darling. If we cannot purchase toys for our son, then he will play with books. And I will sing him lullabies and tell him stories," Anjali would say kindly. Their problems were short-lived. Within 1 year, Saroj got a job as a professor at a government university. And Anjali, she decided to stay at home and take care of their 1-year-old son, Sakshi. Saroj never stopped bringing books for his son, and the son, completely unaware of what to do with them, would eventually tear them apart. 3 of them formed a small, beautiful family. As Sakshi began to grow up, he started to walk in his parents' footsteps. As father, as son, he grew fond of books at a very early age, and now he won't tear them apart. Instead, he found his deepest joy and meaning in those books. And this was going extremely beautiful. The kid turned into a cheerful lad, but introvert by nature. In his early teen, he moved to a boarding school, and this probably marked the end of his happiness. In boarding school, his mother was not there to love him. His father was not there to support him. And the kids, well, they made fun of his pure Hindi and slightly different accent. And he was completely lost. All the other kids, they conspicuously expressed their hatred towards him. During lunch break, everyone would go to canteen, leaving him behind. And when he would try to mingle with them, they would simply ignore him and go away. So what is worse? Being alone or being surrounded by people who make you feel lonely? All the books that he had read couldn't motivate him, and trying to fit in, this young lad lost himself to depression. He grew friendless, forlorn, and sad. And at this point of time, he was lost. Now, I will not tell you that this is a black and white story where there's a sad kid and there are bad kids teasing him. No, no, no. It's just that Sakshi had different upbringing. He couldn't understand others. And others, well, they were oblivious to what Sakshi was feeling inside. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always great. Now, fate works in mysterious ways. When he was 18 years old, our Sakshi had to move to South India to pursue his bachelor's degree. And his longing for human company came to an end when he made friends with like-minded individuals from all across the country and abroad. However, there was something still missing. It's said that nothing is more painful than bearing an unsaid story in your heart. Sakshi, who was now 21, was still restless. He wanted to share his story, but couldn't get audience in anyone. Fate works in mysterious ways. An acquaintance of him introduced him to a weird club. There, he saw weird people doing weird things, talking. Surprisingly, or probably not so surprisingly, this lad felt like at home in that club. And the name of that club was, any guesses?
It's your pinnacle.
It was Toastmasters International. Ladies and gentlemen, Sakshi is standing right in front of you. Every time I ponder upon my story, I feel, I see that there is no black or white. I might be villain in many people's narrative, and some are so-called villains in my story. But, it's always gray. All of us are right and wrong at the same time, and everyone has a story to share. That's why we have Toastmasters, and that's why we have Sakshi. Now tell me, what's your story? Tia Modi?